Hi there, this is Stu from Mobile Geeks, and right now we're going to have a good hands-on session with the OnePlus One smartphone. So as you can see, this guy is a beautifully crafted 5.5-inch form factor smartphone. The screen here is 1920 by 1080p, so full HD with a pixel per inch of just over 400. That's a 400 ppi, so it's actually a really nice looking screen. Inside here you've got a Snapdragon 801 from Qualcomm, which is clocked at 2.5 gigahertz. That's joined by a very generous 3 gigabytes of memory. Internal storage wise, there are options for 16 gigabytes as well as 64. The version we have here is a 64 gig version. In terms of camera, this guy here has two LED flashes. He's a 13 megapixel camera. On the front here, we've got a 5 megapixel shooter. It supports 4G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0, includes GPS and NFC. Now the software here is also very interesting because this is Android 4.4.2 KitKat, but it's actually got the user interface from Cyanogen. Cyanogen are quite famous for their own modded Android OSs, and this one on here is the Cyanogen 11S, which we're currently using in the exclusive OnePlus theme. Okay, so let's just have a little look around the device. First of all, you can see here we've got a power button that's on the side, about 2/3 of the way up, say. Around the top here we have our headphone jack here on the top right hand side. Along the bottom, right in the bottom centrally, you can see here we have dual speakers. These are dual stereo speakers, if you believe the marketing from OnePlus. These are groundbreaking. There's the first rear-mounted stereo speakers ever, though I'm not entirely sure about that. Here's a USB port, and interestingly, the USB actually connects in a little bit of an odd way. It's kind of upside down, from my perspective at least. Anyway, over here we have the volume rocker. Next to the volume rocker, you'll notice there's a very small little dot. This is how you access your SIM slot, which is right here. You can't quite see it. It's just kind of hidden. But that's actually quite clever because the SIM slot here, the SIM card slot here is kind of integrated into the whole back of the shell, which is removable. Once you take the SIM card slot out, you can then remove the back. And the back is one of the best feeling finishes we've ever come across. It's called sandstone black, and it does kind of feel kind of grained, or if you like, kind of like rock or stone, I guess, and it's definitely one of the highlights of the device's build, I would say, as well as the screen, which kind of sits on top as like a floating kind of screen. You've got this very thin bezel around the side, so even though it's a 5.5-inch device, it kind of feels, I guess, a bit smaller. It's not too much physically bigger than a lot of 5-inch devices that we've seen. Okay, let's have a quick look at the software from Cyanogen. If you're familiar with Cyanogen, if you pull down the right-hand side here, you'll see a lot of your shortcuts, so you can access a lot of the settings. Let's have a look at brightness. Right here we're on full brightness. You can also customize this entirely, but of course this is Cyanogen's kind of signature, is you have a lot of customization going on. So you can choose any of these settings and also add them to your quick access bar there from the right-hand side. But if I just go back out of that, if I pull down from the left-hand side, you'll see all of our notifications going on there. Along the bottom, you've got 5 spots where you can add and take away whatever you want. You can keep these are always there regardless of what screen you're on. And of course, you've got your app drawer right here, so you can see all of your apps which scroll horizontally. But I'm sure within Cyanogen you can probably change that if you want to. Over here we've got, actually we do have hardware buttons, although there is a setting inside here so you can change that to software buttons. But if we go to this little guy here on the left side, you can see we're given options about how these screens interact. We can choose different wallpapers, widgets. We can choose which screen is the default screen. And quite interestingly, Cyanogen have always allowed you to do this, but now it's much easier to access. You can choose which scroll effect. So right now we're using no scroll effect. Let's try cube in. So there you go. It kind of demonstrates what cube in means in terms of a transition. Let's go to rotate down. You can see how that works. Zoom out. Okay, let's choose accordion and leave it there. So now you can see we've changed the effect here to the accordion effect. So this is definitely one of the highlights of the device, is the customization available within the software. Let's have a quick look at settings. We can go down here, we can see about phone. You can see here that we're running CyanogenMod mod, the version. Here's the Android number, information about the CPU. If we go back out, you can see we have lots of options here. Kind of similar to a lot of vanilla OS experience, I guess, not too dissimilar from what we're getting with Google Nexus. But in terms of interface, status bar, quick settings panel, there are tons and tons of options. Being Cyanogen, they're letting you change and control absolutely everything. So you can see here we have some different theme packs. We can install the Holo theme, I believe. And we can decide what we want from the Holo theme. So let's say we want style, wallpapers, fonts, and icons. Update. It'll quickly apply, and then we can see underneath now we have applied a new theme, or at least aspects of a new theme. And some of these icons have also now changed. It's pretty cool. You go back into settings. You can see, what else we got? Okay, so for lock screen, for example, again, we're getting, this is pretty similar, but you can choose how the camera widget behaves and the clock widget. You're getting control over absolutely everything. So here we are doing our hands-on of the OnePlus One smartphone. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe below. Thank you. Bye-bye.